Hey guys, so it's me again, and today I'm going to do a very quick first impressions review on the Maybelline Fit Me Anti-Shine Stick. This is a really good foundation apparently, so say for people who are really oily or have problems with kind of oilness developing throughout the day apparently. And it's also budget. It's a budget buy. I think this cost me £6 something here in the UK, and it's drugstore, so that's really good. So as you can see, as always, I have no makeup on. Now this is going to be a really quick because two reasons. I want it to be quick for you, and I have to go out in 25 minutes. So first thing I'm going to do is, because it's a mattifying, actually I'm totally missing out one stage, my moisturiser. Because it is a mattifying foundation, I'm not going to use my Benefit Professional because I just think it's going to be too much kind of matte. So I'm just going to stick to my usual day moisturiser, which is the Solutions by Avon Complete Solutions Complete Balanced Day Oil-Free Mattifier in SPF 15. And this is fantastic if you have oily skin. Thoroughly recommend it. I don't know if you can buy it online, but if you have a local Avon representative near you, then you can get it there. So put that all over the face, and that does dry to a matte sort of finish. Then the next thing I'm going to use is just to add a bit of shine, a bit of, rather than having a matte face, I'm going to just put a bit of something underneath my skin. I'm going to use the Spotlight Illuminator by Estee Lauder. This is basically the same as the strobe cream. I had this to hand and I'm kind of trying to use it up, because I actually prefer the strobe cream. This one is heavily fragranced, which it smells lovely, but I think for a lot of people it's not going to be suitable for them. And also this isn't advertised as a primer or a moisturiser, whereas the strobe cream is, and it does have some really good properties in it. I think this does as well, but there doesn't seem to be enough written about it, so and it's really expensive, so maybe don't waste your money. Okay, so here we go with the foundation. Get that all in. Right, so it comes in a stick. I don't know if this is exactly my shade. The shades don't correspond to the liquid foundations, I don't think, because this is 220 and it's a lot lighter than 220 I have in there, like a lot lighter. Okay, let's go for it anyway. Where do I begin? If I just go like, oh well, it is kind of my hair. I've got these up on there. Under the eye. As you all know, I'm not the biggest concealer fan. I like to use a good foundation, and should I just write my name on myself? I probably put too much there. And then I'll take I don't know what brush to take. I'll try and take my, what used to be a flat angle kabuki, and as you can see it's now been squished. I'll tell the story about that brush later. Well, so far it's blending in quite nicely. It does blend in really nicely actually. It's quite creamy. I'm surprised it's so creamy, because when you put it on your hand it's got that kind of real matte sandy finish. The finish reminded me very much of the Rimmel Stay Matte. I don't know if anyone used it, which I absolutely loved, but throughout the day my skin started to get really oily. Okay, so that's kind of it. It's not very full coverage, though I'm sure you can make it full coverage. The lighting here is not very good at the moment because it's grey outside. I don't know if, as you can see, there's still, you need to, if you want to cover everything, you need something much more full coverage, because it's just, this isn't going to do it. But it's still very thick and creamy, and actually if you want a natural look, this is perfect for you. I think I'm going to need a highlighter because it hasn't quite got rid of my dark circles. Well, so far so good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do this look, and then I'm going to go away for the day, and I'll come back this evening and tell you how it fares. I don't use much around my eyes. The reason I don't use much around my eyes is because I have so many bumps and media and texture around my eyes that any makeup clings to that, And so I really am one of these people that just likes to use them at bare minimum. I'm not even covering up dark circles. I'm actually trying to cover up, or I'm going over bumps, and it isn't the most attractive look. I'll show you my beauty blender. It still feels tacky. I didn't expect that. It just feels like, yeah, tacky. I'm not so sure. My skin isn't very oily at the moment, so I don't know if this is something I really need right now. But nevertheless, I mean, it's nice. It's definitely my shade. I really didn't think this was my shade, but it is. Okay. I'm going to go away and do my eyes, then I'll finish off my powders and I'll show you the end look with the powders, because the powders, especially the ones I use, which is the MAC Mineralized Skin Finishes, do kind of give it a lot more coverage on top of that. So it doesn't matter if your foundation isn't full coverage, because you will get extra from this. They are, a lot of people don't think they're foundations, but you can use these as a foundation. So, but as for the, I'm not sure if it's a really lovely foundation, but as to whether it fits its brief to being, well, it's definitely anti-shine. Whether it's anti-oily, I don't know. My nose is still a bit shiny, but my nose is always shiny. Anyway, okay, so I'm going to go do the rest of my face, and I'll be back to do my powders, and then I'll be back this evening, so see you in a second. Okay, so it's been a couple of minutes, and I've done my makeup, and still there's that slight tackiness. Yeah, there is a tackiness there, but I'm going to put my powders on, and so first of all I'm going to use my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in medium, and I'm just going to take my damp beauty blender and I'm just going to run a little bit underneath my eye here, just to kind of set everything underneath my eye. I haven't really used much, I've just used a bit of highlighter. I just used the MAC Prep and Prime highlighter. Just to take away a few of my darker circles, but I'm not really one for completely getting rid of them. I don't know why. I think, like I said, I've got so much texture on my under eyes that the more product I put on, the worse they look, and so I actually look better with less. Anyhow, so I always like to use this method. It kind of dampens the product with the beauty blender, and it goes on a bit more creamier, and it just goes on a bit more nice and a bit more natural. So that's what I use. I just powder the centre part of my face, and then I'm going to take my bronzer, which is the Skin Finish in medium dark, and I'm just going to take my big fluffy brush and go around in a 3 shape. Now, this powder method is something I use with all my products, even if I don't need to powder, just because rather than do it for setting foundation, I tend to do it for, it's very light. Why am I? It's all very light. It's not actually this light in the mirror that I have in front, but anyhow. Yeah, I tend to do this anyway to, I think my husband's back from walking the dog. He's going to see me talking to myself. Anyway, as I said again 3 times, I usually do this method when I try to add colour. So I'm doing it really to add colour to my skin rather than kind of set it or anything like that. Though I do think that this foundation needs setting. That's one thing I do think it does, which is sad really actually, because you'd think, well no, I suppose you wouldn't. You do need some powder to, I would definitely really powder this. I can see it sliding off, even though it's anti-shine. I can see it sliding off. That's how I felt after just minutes of doing my eyes. I felt like it was starting to kind of come off. I'm going to use it several times with different products underneath, different moisturisers, and see how we go. So I'm just going to use a bit of blush. The blush I'm using now is a mix of 2, and it's the Pixie Pink by Sleek, and also it's a peach one, an orange one, but I can't hold it up because it's all smashed in its container. But I just mix the 2, and that gives a really kind of pretty finish. There we go. I'm not going to contour anything today. I think I'm just going to keep it quite simple, because this really is just to show you. Okay, and there we go. So overall, it's got a relatively, I have a lot of texture on my skin. It's got a relatively good coverage. That's better. Maybe I should start filming from up here. It means I'll have to stack up my camera a bit higher. it's got a good coverage. It's a really nice shade. It gives a nice finish, but it's not fantastic. I don't think it meets the brief that it says. I don't think it's, I still feel like I'm producing oils or something, but I'm going to go away now. I'm going to go and do my day, and I'm going to come back later on this afternoon, and we can discuss it then. We can discuss it then between you and me through the camera. We can talk about it then, and I'll let you know how it fared out through the day, and if it's still on, what it looks like, etc. Okay, bye! Hey guys, so I'm filming whilst holding the camera because my battery died and I had to connect it to the charger, and so this is the only way I can kind of prop it up. And I'm sorry for the buzzing that's around. There's a fly that's decided to get in the house and it's like bzzz everywhere. So this is me at the end of the day. The reason my eyes are this colour, and I'm sorry for the wobbling of the camera, let's try and keep it still. The reason my eyes are this colour because I've just filmed a tutorial for this look. This is just kind of an everyday look using colour, so using brights and pinks and things like that, because a lot of people see these lovely colours and think, oh, how can I wear them in the day, and not sure quite how to use them. So so yes, there we go. And also one of the eyeshadows that I'm using is a Luster eyeshadow by MAC, and I absolutely hate these eyeshadows. So I didn't realise it was the Luster eyeshadow until afterwards, so I'm really sorry. There's probably other alternatives you can use. Anyway, back to the point of the film, which is how my Maybelline Fit Me anti-shine stick fared out, and I think it's really good. I definitely will be using this again, and I'll probably be using it now consecutively throughout the weeks just to see how it goes. When I first applied it, I think I expected more from it than I got. I expected it to be much more matte, and it doesn't have that matte feel. It's quite creamy. However, it is anti-shine, and it doesn't develop there was no shininess throughout the day. As you can see, there's no shininess. I did powder it quite heavily, but even since then it's not nothing's come through, though it does feel a little bit oily. I think that's natural throughout the day. Nothing has changed, it's exactly the same. I would say this was a sheer to medium coverage. For full coverage it's probably going to look quite cakey because of the nature of its anti-shine properties. It's quite flaky, it's quite that kind of sandy, typical kind of mattifying foundation. So, and like I've said many times before in my videos, I am a lot older than people think, and so I do have a lot of texture, particularly melia, these bumps here, as you can see, and I've even got one in my eye there. I am planning to get these removed when I get the money and when I can find someone that can remove them, because I don't know, I'm in a new area, I don't know who does that around here. And so putting products on my skin can be quite difficult. So But despite that, it's really good. It's a really good foundation. It does give you coverage. It covers up any redness that you have, which is the main thing, and blemishes. And I've not actually used, as you all know, again, I'm not the biggest fan of concealer. I've only used a bit of highlighter in my under eye, and that's kind of it. Other than that, I've just went with a stick underneath my eyes, and that kind of worked out well. So it's a really natural look. It's a really natural look, one for every day. It's very quick to use. You literally just whack it on and blend it out with a blending brush. So I give it a thumbs up. I definitely would give this probably about a good 8 out of 10 actually. No, maybe about 7.5 out of 10. Based on what I've said. I probably will do another kind of catch-up review on this product as I use it as the weeks go by. But I am going to go now because I'm holding the camera and it's wobbly, and you're probably all getting sick like you did in Blair Witch Project. So I will see you in my next video. Look out for my eye tutorial because I've got that coming soon, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye!